Hi, and welcome to the next of our Lantern Conversations. I have Amy with us on Zoom today, and so I'm going to pass over to her to introduce herself. Hello, Amy.
Hello, I'm Amy Phillips, and I'm the Artistic Director of the Lantern Arts Centre.
Brilliant. And what kind of things does that role include then for the Arts Centre?
Well, it's really someone to sort of gather together and head up all the creative output of the Arts Centre, which is quite broad. It's our big main house shows, both the ones that the Arts Centre are producing themselves, but if anyone else is using the space, the same for our studio theatre. And then we obviously have all sorts of classes and courses. We have our gallery, our brilliant youth theatre and children's theatre. So it's kind of I guess I just sort of help curate and oversee it. And I'm someone that people can come and complain to, and, or, can kind of, is it quite helpful to have someone who has an eye over the whole. It's such a big organization. It's useful to have someone who has an eye over the whole thing and can bring it together. And also, the more people I get out and talk to, the more I have a sense of there's a lot of different need. People tend to come at the Arts Centre from their own channel. I want to see this, that and the other, or I want to be in this, that and the other. But it's good to, I suppose, to have someone who's having lots of different conversations and aware of the whole thing, so we really make sure there's something for everyone. That's basically it in a quite a long nutshell.
No, it's fine, and that's it, isn't it? I think it is such a broad spectrum for a role, isn't it? Because being, artistic director, it covers all of those things, and the role is part-time, so yes. It's not as even as if it could be a full-time role, considering the amount of work there is to do. But it's pulling those strands together, isn't it? But you're also a director of quite a few of our plays. You're also an actress as well, and so it's can you tell us a little bit about what you were working on, what the Arts Centre was working on just before we closed down?
Yes, well, lots of things were going on. We had our youth theatre were putting on a production of Romeo and Juliet, which the leader of the youth theatre, Susie, was directing. We had our children's theatre and youth, the other sort of part of the youth theatre, were about to do their end of term productions, and we had also a spring cabaret. We were looking at something a little bit different. This is something the LAC have done for a number of years, well, really since the beginning, is that occasionally they do a kind of cabaret evening. Sometimes it's been themed, and that just gives a bit of it. Can you hear I can hear the NHS clap going on outside. I'm going to have to do this so they can hear me.
We'll do this. We'll do our NHS clap for everybody.
My kids are out there. I'm normally there, so I'm just going to have to tap them. Yes. So yes, and that was Spring Cabaret, and we that was our main house production, and it was a chance to show show quite a broad spectrum of music and dance, particularly, and involved. It's a huge production. We had about a 40-50 strong cast and crew for that. So really a big thing. We were very close. We were very close. We were
like 2 weeks away, weren't we? I think it was. We'd got I think children's theatre's end of term that week, and then it would have been straight then onto Romeo and Juliet, and then straight after that it would have been the cabaret, wouldn't it? So
yeah, it was tantalising. Yeah.
We were really close, but I know you're hoping, and we're all hoping that once we're able to get back into the building, the cabaret is still going to be a big thing, and we will get it on stage as soon as we can, really, won't we?
Yeah, we're hoping it's postponement.
Yeah, it is. It's everything's just on hold. Nothing's cancelled. We're just on hold, treading water a little bit. Keep singing. Keep practicing the dances, and
yeah. A bit worried. I'm too old. I'm gonna have forgotten all the dances by the time we get there.
Oh no, I'm sure you will. We've lost your video a minute. That's it. There.
Sorry.
So you're the artistic director, but you're also a mum.
Yes.
Of 4 amazing children.
Look, I've been on lockdown with them for 2 months, so you can say the amazing bit.
I'll say the amazing bit. I'll say the amazing bit. You've got a wide
Yeah.
range of ages, haven't you? You go from the first year of senior school right down to nursery. So, and I know obviously your husband Johnny's working from home as well. I tell you, is he actually working? Yeah, he's still working from home.
Yeah, so he's working. So I don't see much of him from about perhaps 8:30, 9 till about 5:36.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, he's very much sort of, you know, he's got quite a full-on job. So yeah, he's working. Yeah. So
you're now having to plan lessons for year 7 down to foundation. How's that been for you?
Well, so my eldest child, who's at secondary school, is the most independent, and her school's been brilliant, and she logs on to her computer at the beginning of the day, and she's up in, you know, upstairs, you know, really having sort of lessons to all intents and purposes, and she's been brilliant. But it strikes me as a hard first year of secondary. It's in some ways, perhaps it seems academically the least important year, but it's feels to me socially quite an important year. You know, you're just finding your feet, just getting a bit of independence, and so I think, you know, I feel for her there. But yeah, the school have been amazing. I have to say, well, you know, we're all taking our hats off to the NHS, rightly, but I have to say I'm so impressed with the teachers as well, and the spirit that which they've for the schools my kids are at have embraced such a new normal, I think, as well, you know, and in such a short space of time as well. So yeah, she's quite independent, and my year 6 child is also pretty independent. They get lessons from school. The younger two need more help and support, and that can be a challenge because, you know, I've got a sort of rambunctious little boy running around who, you know, and a year 2 child who really does need to be doing a bit. So it's different needs.
Different needs, and it's that juggling act, isn't it, of just trying to, and it's like you say, rightly so. I mean, our teachers have really stepped up to the mark, haven't they? We've been able to send work in for our, you know, for the kids and everything, and just keep that continuity going. But the work is important, but also this, like you say, it's a social interaction, isn't it?
And
you know, I can understand the government's thing to want to get the kids back because they are foundation years, year 6 going up to year 7. Those are important years, you know, when, like you say, you're finding out your individuality, you're finding your personality, you're learning how, and especially for the little ones, they're learning, how do I operate in a group of people my own age? Who's boss here? Who's gonna be the quiet one? It's all that stuff, and they're going to miss out almost on quite a lot of learning of how to be human. I think that's you know, that's the difficult thing for them, and so they're going to need a lot of support in the years to come. I do believe our kids, but they will have grown up with something, a different experience, and they'll flourish through, you know, they'll flourish through anything. Resilient, you know, and it's us that find the change. So I just wanted to touch on a little bit about your faith, because obviously the Art Centre's a Christian organisation, and the church obviously is their partner as well. And what's lovely is you and I have got quite a really good relationship, haven't we, over the past 2 years? And we have an understanding. And what's great is we're both from 2 completely different denominations.
Absolutely.
2 that wouldn't normally come together to do anything. So how is your faith impacted you, your family? Has it been knocked? Have you has it been a sense of joy for you, or is it something deep inside that it's been more of a, I just do a bit of soul searching at the moment through
it? I think I have always found prayer enormously consoling and easy, actually. There's lots about life, there's lots about faith that I don't find easy and I wrangle with, you know, but I find prayer deeply consoling. And I think, you know, the strange thing about being a mum to a number of children is that I know that I know that their need for me, and you know, I know that you know, it's 24 hours. It really is. You know, my little boy's often up in the night. One of them's, you know, or one of the other ones is, and early in the morning till late at night. But there is a I'm very aware of the wider world at the moment, and heartbroken by a lot of what I'm hearing, and I've got medic friends on the front line, and key worker friends, teacher friends, and I'm, you know, I have a lovely friendly community around me. I know my post woman, and I know my post man, and you know, I just, you know, it's hard. You can't not be aware of people's struggles, and that's why prayer, I think, is so amazing. That you, while, as I say, I'm very the reason I talk about the need of the children is that I have to be here. I'm very tethered to here, to the home. But prayer makes me feel like I want to be out there, I want to be helping people, but that's not really possible. And prayer makes me feel like I can do something, and something the children can relate to as well. We can pray for other people, and you know, I think so. I have found that really consoling. I also find spiritually, I think I find a lot of calm in nature, in the beauty of nature, and so I think the time of year, and the garden, and we live opposite a very very big and very wild park. So I think that has helped me feel close to God, and the sort of beauty of nature, and it's transient but it's permanent as well. So I think that's a kind of the seasons are transient, aren't they? But the sort of the cycle of nature is permanent, and I think that makes you sort of reflect perhaps a little bit about on the fact that this too shall pass. You know, there'll be
I think that's really important. I think there is, like you say, to begin with, there's that intercessory prayer, isn't there? You know, and often in services or in liturgy, you know, sometimes we get something of, oh, what's the point in intercessory prayer? But actually, at a time like this, that is so important, because it does then connect us to the wider world. And we, although we feel we may not be able to physically do anything, actually being present and praying it's such a vital importance, and it connects us to the whole, to the planet, doesn't it? And like you say, creation, I think what's been nice is, I don't know about you, but watching spring develop into early summer has been really beautiful, because we've been able to watch it, we've been able to slow down, we appreciate it.
Absolutely.
There is
I've been thinking a lot about you don't always get a choice, do you? Some things just keep sort of coming into your mind, and someone asked Mother Teresa how to, you know, how can I change the world, you know, and she said, go home and love your family. And I think that's been very much, when I don't feel what I'm doing is enough, that's really helpful, because I think it's also it's not just literal. I think it is literal, isn't that I know my children need me, have a great need for me at the moment, and my husband, but also my wider family, my brothers and sisters in the world, need me to be sensible and be at home and not be, you know, flouting the rules or whatever it is. So I think you're looking after both your loved ones, or whatever your family is, you know, and you're also looking after your sort of your wider family. So it's a kind of that's been on my mind. I think also, you know, as Christians, we challenge ourselves to be Christ-like, and I think it's a time where you've seen the very best in people, which is so inspiring and amazing. But I think it also can bring out in all of us a less pretty side, you know. And I think it's about challenging yourself not to judge as well. And you know, I think that's something you can work on as well, even from, you know, from your four walls.
I think there is, isn't there? There's been a sense of, I know a lot of the friends I've been speaking to have talked about Sabbath rest, you know, at this time, the laying down of